The year is 1945. The Nazi war machine is crumbling. As fascist regimes all over Europe collapse, those who once looted and terrorized the continent now look desperately for any way to escape. For them, this war is over, but they are already laying plans for the next one.
Have all the transfers been arranged?
Yes, they have. The gold left Montenegro 2 weeks ago, and the currency was wired this morning. Everything has been taken care of.
And the documents?
Hidden, where no one will ever find them.
Good. Now let us depart before this place comes down around our ears.
In 2005, the terror starts again.
Now, where are those documents Patrick said he found in the basement? My God. This is incredible.
But old hatreds still linger. Old mysteries remain unsolved. And old enemies may yet rise again to carry on their ancient battles, armed now with the tools of modern terror.
The building's clear. Are these the papers?
Some of them. Not all.
So what do we do now?
We destroy them and leave. Then we wait for our next orders.
Only one defense stands between the world and all the forces that threaten it. Rainbow, an international task force dedicated to combating terrorism wherever it arises, consisting of the best counter-terrorism operatives the world has to offer. Rainbow is the most potent weapon in freedom's arsenal. Backed by the most sophisticated technology available and trained to the limits of human capability, Rainbow soldiers are our best hope in the war against terror. They may also be our last. Operation Stolen Flame. Terrorists have seized control of an oil refinery in Amway, Venezuela. They claim to have rigged the entire complex with explosives and are threatening to detonate them unless their demands are met. Your mission is to neutralize the terrorists.
The terrorists are demanding the end of deportation proceedings against a senior citizen named Peja Sikic. It turns out that Mr. Sikic was a high-ranking official in the Yugoslavian Ustash regime during World War II, working for the bad guys. That piece of his past just caught up to him. However, members of a neo-fascist organization called the People's Social Nationalist Party, PSNP, don't see anything wrong in what he did back in the 40s. They've seized the refinery in response to the deportation hearings. And if Sikic isn't released within 24 hours, they threaten to blow the entire facility sky high. All the information we have on the terrorists indicates that they're neither well-organized nor well-armed. Intel's analysis is that their bombs are most likely homemade, which means that there's a chance that they could go off at any moment and take the surrounding landscape with them.
What we're dealing with here is a lot of bloody dangerous amateurs sitting on top of a powder keg. These lads are affiliated with the so-called People's Social Nationalist Party, which got itself booted from the far-right coalition for being too extremist. Neat trick, that. I've had a number of scraps with the police. Usually after 7 or 8 of them get together to introduce an immigrant to the finer points of a mass beating. Nothing in their profile indicates that they're well-organized or well-supported, so you can most likely expect a lot of small-caliber arms. They're erratic, politically fanatical, and by all accounts not that bright. Right now, they're sticking explosives all over a few million barrels of crude oil and gasoline, and they don't seem to care if they get incinerated, so long as they get their point across.
Get them into the tunnel, now.
Come on, you've got to get up.
Now the rest of you, move!
Thank you.
Come along, Navidad. The ambulance is this way.
Do any more of you people feel like being a hero tonight?
Threat down. Hostage secured. It's all over. You're safe now.
Well, I saw him in the doorway. Then he just waved and kept going. I swear, if he hadn't been there, the guy would have shot me. I'd be dead right now. Stone dead.
Operation Stone Cannon. An import-export firm in Porto de Alegre, Brazil, is allegedly housing what authorities have identified as components of a chemical nerve agent. Surveillance data has been confirmed by details of confessions extracted from several of the terrorists captured on Cayman Brac. Your mission is to raid the company's warehouse and secure all chemical agents on the premises.
Since Rainbow keeps on getting tapped for missions in the Western Hemisphere, a suggestion's been made to keep you stationed out at Langley temporarily, at least until things calm down. In the meantime, we've got a new assignment. A U.S. Coast Guard cutter intercepted a freighter bound for Savannah. On board were a few hundred kilos of cocaine, approximately 20 crates of assault weapons, and a few million sheets of neo-fascist propaganda. The ship's manifest pointed the Coast Guard to a shipping firm in Porto de Alegre, Brazil. Coincidentally, that's the same company some of the prisoners from Cayman Brac mentioned in their plea bargains. With that information in hand, the Brazilian government began surveillance of the operation. They hit the jackpot. We've got footage of guns and drugs going in and out of the warehouse. The surprise here, though, is that we've also got video of what looks like chemical weapons containers labeled in Russian. Technically, this sort of operation isn't under our jurisdiction, but I twisted a few arms and got the assignment. This looks too much like a part of what we're already dealing with for me to let it go.
You did nice work in Argentina, and now Intel's hoping to return the favor. At this point, we can confidently state that the burglars at the meatpacking plant were there to destroy 40 years worth of financial records. You'd think a match would have done the job, but they seemed intent on keeping the plant intact. The good news is, they didn't nick the backups. We found those, and we're beginning to see why someone wanted the lot destroyed. It's going to take weeks, if not longer, to decipher them. But one thing is clear. That packing plant was used as a cover for a great many things. As for the import-export firm, the surveillance footage we've got shows them moving a lot of gear in and out, including what looks to be top-of-the-line weaponry. Be prepared. They're not going to be firing cheap AK-47 knockoffs when you come through the door. We're still working on getting a final translation on the labels on the shipping containers, but a first look confirms our worst fears. It's the components for the VX nerve gas. VX, in case you were wondering, is a nerve agent that binds to the neurotransmitters and blocks them. It doesn't matter if you touch it or inhale it. The end result is a quick, agonizing death, and the amount required for a lethal dose is tiny. Even worse, the stuff sticks around forever and adheres to damn near any surface you can imagine.
Stop him! Over here.
We'll do whatever you say.
God, don't let him find me.
What was that? Well, what have we here? No playing hide and seek, girl. If you try to run again, you're gonna be dead.
Amazing. They just burst in, and there was this flash.
Yes, well, the Metropolitan Police's immediate response to this sort of incident is to try to maintain the safety of the hospital.
Concerned that the festivities might be cancelled in the wake of some early morning disturbances, but according to a police spokesman, there was never any real chance that the celebration would be shut down.
So let's go over this one more time. Gospic didn't act until his friend in Venezuela got deported. Why?
It was all that fool Sikik's fault. Gospic and Sikik served the Ustachi together, and during the war they stole millions. But when Sikik was caught, Gospic panicked. He acted too soon.
And it's lucky for us he did. Now let's talk about Gospic. What was he after?
Gospic was dying. Liver cancer, he told me. So he decided to give the world a goodbye present. He wanted an economic downturn so he could buy up the oil fields of the Venezuelan coast on the cheap. He'd use the money they generate to support a new international fascist movement.
Where did you come in? Or did you just like his politics?
Politics are changeable, but money's no good without a place to spend it. He was bankrolling my campaign in exchange for certain political favors. And if I lost, well, he'd made plans for a coup. It was a deal with the devil. He was a raven, picking the bones of an old war. And I'd be his shield, until his children were ready to fly.
But none of this explains the nerve gas.
Gospic wanted piles of dead in the streets. No more tourists for Rio, no. And that would damage the economy across the entire region. It would be easy then for him to buy what he wanted. But none of that matters now. He is dead, and you have won, and I am going to prison.
He's all yours. That's it, people. It's over. You did good work. I'm proud of you. Now, I've heard that there's one hell of a party going on upstairs. Get out of here. Enjoy yourselves. You've earned it.
you